Meow. I got a new plant. Not the point. Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. Today is a little bit of a celebration because we finally reached 200 subscribers, which is it's incredible because it happened in like less than a year, which is very exciting because I haven't been posting for like almost a year in the meantime. And it's so great to be back and to see the progress. My views are going up slowly and I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful for every single like and comment I receive, every subscriber I'm happy about, and just so you know that I'm just getting started because I have so many things that I want to show you. I have so many things I want to record and edit. There's so much. So first I wanted to say thank you to every single one of you who thought about clicking that button and was like, yes, subscribe to this guy, because it's really like it's really like it's a lot to me. Okay, I don't have like a specific way to get into this video except that I want to say thank you first, and then I finally have a few questions. I have a little Q&A for you all. So I'm very excited about this. To be quite honest, since I was just beginning to make videos, I was like 11. I have always wondered how amazing it would be to have like a Q&A video one day, to have a channel where there will be like enough people to care about you personally. That was like a big dream of mine since then. And yes, so today I don't know how many questions. I'm gonna be reading them off like a little paper I have. Because yes, I have put a story on my Instagram, which by the way you can go follow, and I also made a little video on my YouTube. If you didn't see that video yet and you have questions after this comes out, there will be other times then I will be doing Q&A, maybe like for each 100 subscribers I can do like one. That would be really amazing because it would be very fun to do that. So yes, again, I want to say thank you before we get started. I really want to keep this channel growing. I really hope that we can grow this little community because I just think there's so much that like I want you all to see. And yes, thank you for this. And now I'm gonna get into the questions and I'm very excited about this. So I have some like quick ones that I'm just gonna get right through, and then I have some that I'm gonna be speaking about a little bit in depth. So yes, let's get into this. So the first one is, how old are you? I am 16 years old. My birthday is in March. That's all I'm gonna say right now because I wouldn't want too many personal information out there. The second one is, where are you from? I am from Slovenia, which is, if you didn't know, because there's a big possibility, this is like this little like chicken country, like next to Italy and Hungary and Croatia and Austria. So yes, we are pretty small country, but it's cool, I guess, to have like a small country. I don't know. People don't usually know it, okay? What is your favorite color? My favorite color are any shades of super pastel, like light blue. um Whenever like this this is just a shade. Whenever I used to paint, when I was like just like a few years ago, I used to paint a lot. I would take blue and I would put a bunch of white in it and I would just mix it up, and the color was so gorgeous and I just couldn't stop using those kinds of pastels, and this is just my favorite kind of color. But I do love like all the colors, like especially the pastel versions. You can see my shirt is a little pastel today. But yes, just all colors are beautiful, I think, mostly. Where are you religious? This one is really funny because it's just from my friend. But no, I'm not religious. I'm an atheist. But of course, if you are of a religion, that's cool. You know, meow from a friend. Meow to you too, because I know who you are. Thank you for the meow. I appreciate that one. Okay, so this is one that I have been thinking about for some time, and I just cannot. I don't really know what to say. So, like, what is your favorite thing that you have, like, in general? And I wouldn't say like any plants, because plants aren't things, they're living things, they're like living creatures. So I wouldn't say plants. I want to say like my phone. I want to say my phone because there's like everything I can make on it, and just to be in contact with my friends. But I think that's really basic, so I want to go a little bit further, but I'm not sure like what to say. uh my favorite thing, can a room be a thing? Because if I can do that, this room is my favorite thing, because if I wouldn't have this room, I wouldn't have any of this. Like all of this is literally my paradise, and I love being here and just doing what I love and just, chilling. I guess that's it. I would say my phone or my room. Yes, or I love food though. I love food. That's not a thing though. I'm sorry. I don't know. Okay, so now we're moving on to like more planty kind of questions, which I think will be pretty fun. I love talking about plants if you haven't realized yet. So, do you name all your plants, or am I the only one? You're definitely not the only one. I know a lot of people who do, but personally, I think like naming my plants with human names, because I know that this is what you were kind of referring to. I think naming them with human names is a little bit. Ugh. When I was younger, I had this one palm tree, and it had a human name. I remember that, but I only had like one plant at a time. So it was kind of, it would be a little bit crazy to name a lot of plants that I do have. But I think it's a little bit stupid for me, because they have names, they have Latin names, and I know those, and this is how I, like talk about them and search for plants. I know Latin names of probably hundreds and hundreds of plants. I know all the plants I do own, and I know so many more that I want to. So I think naming them would be just too confusing for me. But you're definitely not the only one. And if you have a small collection, that could be a fun thing that you can do. Roughly how many plants do you have? So I am very glad that the question wasn't how many plants do you have exactly, because I have had problems thinking about this before. Because let's say, okay, let's say this. I'm not gonna lift it up. Wait, give me a second. I just bought this today. It's a little amazing sport variegated Tomatophyllum sprucianum. But as you can see, there is two plants in the pot. But there's only one pot of this plant. So like, how would I count that? Is this one plant, or are these two plants? Because if that was one plant, this is probably like 20, and I don't even know how many there are in here. So if you go like this, I would probably have, I'm not even gonna try to estimate. So the last time I kind of tried counting was counting like the pots, because I think that's a little more manageable. Just in this room, I had about 70-ish, but I also have the prop box that you're currently standing on. I have my Orange Princesses box, the terrarium, let's say roughly about 100 in this room, but I also have some at my dad's attic, and I have two greenhouses outside that are currently maybe halfway full. So about 50 more. So 150 to 200 maybe. This is very roughly, but keep in mind I'm just getting started with this, because to have like a plant shop that I really really want to have one day, you have to have some stock, and I don't want to do the thing where you buy plants in at cheap and then you just like you sell them for like the normal prices. I want to have mother plants in my shop like Kaylee Ellen does. I think that's really, really smart. So what you will do, you have a bunch of these mother plants that keep growing in your environment. You cut them every once in a while, and then you will be selling the propagations. And I think, that is sustainable. They keep growing, and you don't have to buy new plants to sustain yourself. So I think that's really smart. And I'm kind of starting to like gather a bunch of different things whenever I see any kind of sports variegations, like the one that I just show you, the variegated anthuriums, the variegated philodendrons, I will take those one by one whenever I see them and start cutting them up. And that's kind of how I plan on like building a little bit of stock before I really get into the like throwing hundreds of euros into this. So throughout this are like dispersed a few questions from a plenty friend of mine, which is Pam from Full of Foliage. We've been kind of YouTube plant kind of friends for some time now. She just passed like 1,000 subscribers some time ago, and I'm so happy for her because that's literally so amazing. But among some things, she also asked like, what sparked your love for plants? And I started collecting. I don't know. I started about in like 2019 to 2020, so about the same as everybody else for like the quarantine and stuff like that. So I would say in 2019 I had maybe 5 or 6 plants, and then it grew exponentially. So I think it was a little bit of like I found these pretty plants and I want to like not kill them because I never had a ton of plants before. I have never had. But maybe it was a part, maybe there was like a little bit of boredom, like I was just at home. But I don't think that was the main reason. I got a pothos and the Tradescantia they just showed you from my grandma. I had some cuttings and I was like, you know what, let's grow these out, let's see what happens. But yes, I think that's kind of how it happened. I think it's a bunch of different reasons, but the fact that I was home for so long at all the time, I think that also helped a lot. And at some point that we could only go out to like a shop or something, there wasn't anything else to do. I just went plant shopping, you know. So that I think that was kind of mixed reasons, but yes, that's maybe how I got to this. What are your favorite plant genuses, species, and so on? So my favorite plant genus at the moment, it's very mixed. But this year I have put into my head that I really want to get more into philodendrons. Philodendrons are a very popular choice for a lot of plant creators because plant YouTubers and content creators, because philodendrons are such a diverse genus. You get things from dark velvety foliage to very light like glossy things. I think everyone can find something. There is very veiny things. There is small leaves. There is huge leaves. I think you can get everything in the genus. I love how a lot of philodendrons will mature when they grow up to their fullest potential. I think that's definitely some fun of it. But to give you like my favorite species, I cannot really do that. I think what I can do is anything velvety, dark, or things super colorful. Let's say I have a Syngonium red spot tricolor that I really like. I'd like if it would grow faster. Not gonna go into that today. But yes, we also have like, what is your favorite plant? My favorite plant at the moment, it's really hard for me to choose because everything is kind of growing. Um, I would. Oh my god, I don't know. Wait. Oh my god, I don't know. I don't know. Can I just show you? Okay, because I'm not gonna give you like an actual answer for this one. Let me just show you the favorite like exact specimen that I just received, and it looks. Oh my god, it looks amazing. I'm in love. So this is my Philodendron Prince of Orange. It will obviously overexpose a little bit, but the variegation on this thing is it's so much of it than on the new leaf, of course. But I now have like 2 of these. I have repotted them and hopefully they will do fine. But a lot of my plants are struggling with battling root rot at the moment. That's why I'm having a little bit of an issue. I also have some pest problems that I don't even know like what they are. Because I would say my Philodendron melanochrysum would be like one of my favorites, or not the favorite. But the best leaf on it has a ton of pest damage right now, and I don't know what to do with that. So it can't be my favorite because it just looks like that. But when the new leaves come out, maybe again. How would you rate the prices of your plants in your area? Do you think they're pricey, affordable, etc.? So, okay, I think that whenever I go shopping, I usually do shopping at, let's say, big box stores, hardware stores, stuff like that. My favorite one is Obi, and they have, let's say, everything to like renovate your home, everything like that. And there is a whole garden section. Because they're not like fully a garden or like a fully plant shop, I think that's why their prices are like normal. I would say from 10 to 20 euros you can get like a nice sized plant, I think. No, literally, I do not have plants of that size right now. I only have like smaller and bigger things. Um, but you can get a lot of really diverse and sometimes some really cool things. You just need to go there a lot of times in like a lot of time to see just kind of everything they have. There's also the Eurogarden in Ljubljana, and they also have a ton of things, and they're really cheap. I have the Florida philodendron up there. It was a full basket, and it was only 15 euros. So I think if you buy from plant shops like this that aren't fully into plant selling, you can get things for pretty cheap. But when we get to, let's say, Facebook private sellers, that's like when it gets way more expensive. Now, for things like rarer things, maybe things that just aren't spread around here yet, yes, totally, the prices are valid. There is some plants, I see some people selling Monstera albos for like 100 and more. The Monstera albos are for like 100 in the box, the Eurogarden shop that I just told you about. That is where 100 is appropriate. But for a private seller like this, 100, you're not gonna get that at the moment. They used to be worth a lot more. They're just not anymore. That's how it is. But definitely, I'm not in the kind of, or at least I don't spend the kind of money that some people would say like that's absolutely absurd. I only spend, like, I only buy things that, let's say, are very specific. I have things from my wish list that I finally find on Facebook, let's say, after a year of searching for it, and I'm gonna buy it. But I'm not gonna buy something for like 100 just like that. I bought only one thing for like more than 100, and that was my Monstera Albo for 150. But since then, all the plans have been like way cheaper. We're talking like under 20 euros, except if it's like a rare thing that just costs more, whatever. But yes, I try not to just go into spending, hundreds at a time, because it gets much. It gets a little much, but that's it. You could spend, let's say, these crazy prices on plants in Slovenia too. Um, Slovenians have, let's say, there's a few individuals that maybe I only know of right now that have some things that are maybe worth a few hundred euros or stuff like that. They are selling, let's say, also internationally, but I'm just personally not in the market for those things at the moment. So I can't tell you more on those right now. So that would be it for today. I am very excited about making this video. It was very fun for me to make. I love answering questions, especially in depth, because I don't get, whenever I make videos about plants, I don't get to give you like my deep thoughts on like random things. So when you ask me things, I'm very excited to just give you more of my thinking. But yes, that's it, and I will see you in the next video. Also, what you see behind me, you will get a tour sometime this month, I hope. But yes, it is definitely planned, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye. I got a Tomatophyllum sprucianum.